what are the big three and why do we call them the big three? That's a great question. Hi, it's Kristen here, and just coming to you from my office again for the next less than a month. We're getting ready to hit the trail very soon, and wanted to come to you and give you a little bit of an update about my gear, my top 3 for my backpacking gear. Now, you might be asking, what do you mean by your top 3, your big 3? What is that? Well, let me tell you. The big 3 for backpacking gear would be your backpack, your tent, and your sleep system. Now, why do we call those our big 3? I don't know. I always believed that it was probably because that's what we spend the most money on, and because it's probably the most important gear that we carry. So, without further ado, my big 3. We'll start with my backpack. My backpack that I'm carrying for the Appalachian Trail in 2026, beginning in February, is the ULA Circuit backpack. I've chosen this because, well, honestly, because it got great reviews when I was buying it, when I was researching it. And it had so many great features that I was also looking for, so I bought it. And I've been using it for the last 2 years all over the United States, and I couldn't agree more. It is made of that really good material. Don't ask me to tell you exactly what it's called. I cannot remember off the top of my head, but I'll put it right here. Okay, and it has a 48-liter backpack. It weighs, I think it's 37 ounces. It can load out around, I think they said the max load out was around 35 pounds. So it can carry a lot, especially for being an ultralight backpack. It has some great features. I love how, even though it's an ultralight, that it is a framed backpack, so I do feel very comfortable with it on. I love the shoulder straps that it has. You have 2 different options of what kind of shoulder straps you want to get, and they have a really a contoured one that you can get that fits women very well, and I would highly recommend that one. So they have that. They also have these bottom straps. A lot of people attach things to them. I have decided to put my tent down here, and it has worked wonders for me. They have the nice big side pockets where you can put your water bottles or whatever else you'd like to have. They have straps for where if you want to put your trekking poles. They just have a lot of features that I've been very, very pleased with. And it is, I haven't been able to find a problem with it yet. Now I say that, but I did have to send my water bottle holder back to them. This guy right here. But I'm going to use this opportunity to give ULA a giant shout out because I had a seam that came a little loose right in here, and when I was hiking one day, I believe it was the 6 Ravine Challenge up at Shades Park, Indiana, which I highly recommend. It's harder than you think. And I was going down some ladders, and all of a sudden my water bottle fell out because it was loose. It was loose, and I was going down, and it just dunk, fell down. So I reached out to the warranty department and just said, hey, you know, and I wasn't asking for, I was just wanting to know if they could fix it for me because this girl, I can't sew. I can repair something in an emergency situation, but if I want it done right, I know I need to send it back to the people that know what they're doing. So I reached out to them and I was wanting to know if they could fix it. And they said, send it back. We'll fix it for you, no charge. And they did. They fixed it, no charge, sent it back to me. And just no questions asked. They were just kind as could be. And I've had no problems since then. And honestly, I'm probably the one that did something to it. You know, I'm probably the one that messed it up. Who knows? But they were kind enough to do that for me. So I am super, super happy with ULA, with their pack, with their product, and with their customer service. So, and I'm not sponsored. Can I just put that out there right now? But if you want to sponsor me, but I'm not sponsored. So thank you, and shout out, I don't know if you're still working there, Robert. He was my customer service representative. Thank you for all of your help with my backpack and also with my help. And I plan to order more. There's one more thing I want to buy from you before I do my full gear loadout video. But I can go ahead and do the big three. So that, number one, my backpack, the ULA circuit. The second piece of gear out of my big three is the tent. Zpacks Duplex zip tent, and I love it. I've had it for a few years now. I recall using it in the Tetons and have had no problems with it whatsoever. It sets up super easy. It's officially a 2-person tent, but I like to have a little bit of room for me and my stuff. So I know they make a 1-person tent, but I like a little bit of room. It sets up with 2 trekking poles, which I use, and you can use 6 to 8 stakes depending on what you would like. I use 8 stakes, and I use the Groundhog Stakes. So it weighs a little over a pound. It's super easy to set up. Like I said, I can set it up in probably 5 minutes or less. It was voted the most popular ultralight tent by the Appalachian Trail Thru-Hikers 2 years in a row. What made me pick this tent at the time, and this was probably 3 to 5 years ago, was because of that. Was because it was the most popular tent, and it was the Dyneema fabric. Now they say that you don't have to have a footprint with it, but my little anxious heart still worries about it. So I decide just to go ahead and carry this little Tyvek, just in case, to be on the safe side. You know, really great videos on how to cut and make just this, construction Tyvek. There's some great YouTube videos out there on how to do that. And so I'll post a link into my big three on where you can find a video to do that. So Zpacks Duplex tent, that's what I use. And I've even used it. Some people have complained about it being the condensation on the inside. I haven't really run into too big of an issue on that. I've even, done so much backpacking in the Smoky Mountains and have camped out next to the streams and everything else, and I've not run into that big of an issue with it. I do sometimes carry, and I will carry, an extra bandana, just a little microfiber towel or whatever in my gear with me, just to be able to wipe off the inside a little bit if that becomes a problem. But there's this term called embrace the suck when you're hiking the Appalachian Trail, and that's just one of the things that you just have to embrace. That's just part of it. So, and it's worth not having that extra weight, in my opinion. So number 2, got that number 1 with the circuit, and number 2 with the Zpacks Duplex tent. Okay, now for the last of my big 3, it's the sleep system. Now, to start with the sleep system, you have to have a good mattress. I prefer the Therm-a-Rest NeoAir Xtherm pad. Now, I was looking online, and they don't actually make this version anymore. They have a brand new one that they just came out with that has great reviews too. So this one's actually out of stock, but they have a brand new one that they use. This one I've had for the last 2 years. Adore it. I like it because it has a 6.9 R value. It doesn't make a lot of crunching noises when you're on it at night. I am a side sleeper, and sometimes I flippity floppity, and so I definitely don't want it to be noisy in case I am in a shelter with other people and with myself. But not only that, it's comfortable on my hips when I'm sleeping. So I'm not too close to the ground, and it's just comfortable, and it keeps me up off the ground a little bit, and it's lightweight. So Therm-a-Rest Xtherm pad. highly recommend. And now for my sleeping bag, which I adore. I've gone through a bunch of sleeping bags, and those, are great, but I, like I said, am a side sleeper. And so sometimes when you feel constricted in a sleeping bag and you're a side sleeper, it can be hard. And so a few years back, I switched over to a quilt and loved it, absolutely adored it. I ended up buying a quilt from a company called Paria, Paria, and they make great quilts, affordable quilts, and I highly recommend them. But I decided that I wanted a very warm quilt. As I told you, I'm starting in a cold month, and I'm scared it's going to be a very cold month, and I'm a cold person by nature. That didn't sound good, but I get cold easily, so especially at night. So I spent the extra money and got myself what I've always wanted. I bought myself an Enlightened Equipment Revelation 10-degree quilt, and I took it out on the Foothills Trail and loved it. It was so warm and cozy on those cold nights, and it's just something that I've been wanting for a very long time, and I saved up for it. So this is my bougie piece of equipment that I am super excited about. It is 850 duck fill. I also bought a silk liner. I just got this I actually got this, they had these on Amazon, but I got this at REI. It's a Cocoon silk liner, and from a lot of other YouTubers that I watched, they recommended having this on those cold nights too, that you could just put this inside of your sleeping bag and you could sleep inside of it if you'd like. It helps keep your sleeping bag or your sleeping quilt clean, but then also on those days where you're doing laundry at the towns, you can just put all your laundry in this, and it's kind of like doubles as a laundry bag. How smart is that? So I think there's so much great information that you can learn from other people, and I can't tell you how much great information I've learned from other YouTubers out there. So thank you for that. I think that was Liz Kidder who I learned that from. So thank you, Liz. You are awesome, by the way. Wow. She just finished the PCT, and I really enjoyed watching her this year. She is just phenomenal woman. So super excited about my Revelation quilt and my silk liner with my Therm-a-Rest air mattress. So that finishes up my big three, which all fits into my handy dandy backpack right here. And I did not mention, I don't use a stuff sack for my backpack, for my stuff. I just stuff it in there. But we'll explain that later. There's something cool about the backpack that I didn't mention that I also like, is that it has this roll top feature. Most of you probably already know this, but I just think it's cool. You just hit roll top feature. You roll it and clip it. And then if you have a bare canister, like if you are hiking the PCT or doing something like that, you can have a compression strap that you can put on top of here too. So there's just so many great things that you can do with this pack. There's even a strap that you can put an ice axe on. An ice axe. Dear God, please make me not have to use an ice axe in the Smokies. Amen. Okay. So I think that's about everything on my big three. My backpack, my tent, my sleep system. So if you have any questions or comments, or if I forgot something, which I've been known to do, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you'd like to follow me on my hike, you can do that here on my YouTube channel. Just please like and subscribe. I'm also on Instagram, and you can on all the other socials as well, and you can find me there at Hiking on a Prayer. So feel free to come and say hi there as well. I'm so excited for us to start this journey together on the Appalachian Trail in 2026. So let's do this.